How to produce an Emmy Award-winning show. I'm Bernie T. Adams, an investor, advisor, two-time Emmy Award-winning producer, and CEO of Accelerant Media Group. We build and scale brands. And I became a producer in a very unconventional way. I got into this because I was a crowdfunding expert. I was helping people raise money for their ideas, for their projects. This is back 10 years ago. And what happened is I found out that the key component to raising the money was the story we told through a video. And some of my early successes was we did the Freedom Journal. We raised $500,000 a month for the Freedom Journal. And then that got the attention of me helping raise money for the film Think and Grow Rich, A Legacy, based on the book Think and Grow Rich. And I became a producer of that film. That is where I got started in producing. It was really knowing that video was a powerful storytelling asset to help raise money, but also to achieve a goal, to get more customers to do whatever it was. Once I realized that, we built the company Accelerant Media Group, which is to build and scale brands, and a consulting agency as well. And so I started producing different TV shows. And so my first TV show that I did was called Ambitious Adventures, which was a TV show where Greg Roulette and I traveled the country on a mission to help young entrepreneurs and figure out what other young entrepreneurs were doing around the country. This was back in 2016. We did a crowdfunding campaign. Again, crowdfunding came back into this to raise the money for the project. And then we did season 1 of Ambitious Adventures. We had crazy interviews around the country, from going to Hollywood and featuring Jake Paul to Lewis Howes with the podcast School of Greatness, and then also Jack Canfield from Chicken Soup for the Soul. And that show was a success. Now, we got an Emmy nomination, which for Emmys, you have to submit in different categories and you have to get voted Emmy nominated. And if you're approved by somebody that watches on the screen, the judge at, then you go to the next round, and then you need to get approved again by judges. And that's where you go to award ceremony and they announce your name as whether you're worthy of an Emmy or not. The first time I went to the award ceremony, I actually did not get an Emmy, which was a heartbreak because I had put my heart and soul into creating the TV series Ambitious Adventures. We got Emmy nominated. We didn't win an Emmy, but a year later came back and won one for success in your city. So Ambitious Adventures, I would say, is my great learning and success through producing. What I learned is you got to have entertainment, you got to have storytelling, but also you need to throw in what will people learn. You need to answer the question of why somebody is watching this project. Why are they watching your show? Why are they watching your film? Why are they going to dedicate 20, 30, 45, 60, 90 minutes to watch your show, your film? What value will they get from it? Will they be entertained, inspired, educated? What is the answer they're going to get from it? So you got to understand that going into a project. How are you going to answer that question through the project you create? I am not a Hollywood producer. I am not the typical guy that goes to become an actor or any of that. I'm an entrepreneur at heart. I am an entrepreneur that knows how to produce things, events, businesses, and video content. I don't know how to run a camera, but I know how to get people to run the camera. I know how to bring people together and delegate them towards something. I'm a visionary. And so I had this vision and idea for a show called Success in Your City that is on the mission of answer the question, what is success? And so after sharing this vision with Sean Vella, the director for that show, and with my wife, we shared this vision of her and I going together to figure out what success meant. So we traveled the country, went in different cities all around the country, from Scottsdale, Arizona, to Austin, Texas, to Boston, Massachusetts, to Denver, Colorado, to Nashville, Tennessee. And it was one of the hardest things I ever did because we were the casting, the funding, production, all of it. We did the show. It was one of the hardest things I did, almost bankrupt me in the process, but I learned a lot about producing, flying film crews in all over the country, and telling stories of different individuals of how they achieved their own version of success. And that show released on Prime the following year. We also wrote a book called The Road to Success, How to Achieve Success in Business, Life, and Love, that went with that book. And we had a success with the show, and we ultimately went on to win Emmy Awards. But we told great stories from Shea Hillenbrand, who was a 2-time All-Star baseball player, made $20 million, and within a few years lost everything, was living out of his van and was suicidal, and found God, and then went on to become a public speaker. To a real estate team that were doing good in the community in Austin, Texas, and ended up, part of their nonprofit was to give back. And we ended up filming all this. We gave back to a family where we basically gave them a new roof. We reconstructed, reshaped their house in terms of remodeling, flooring, everything, to Boston, Massachusetts. We spent a month there. We told a story of a violinist who was literally living on the streets and created an orchestra from nothing. And so what allowed us to create that project is we brought in talented storytellers, scriptwriter, wrote scenes, we find the talent, and then filming something, telling that story through cinematography work, through great transitions and flowing the story, and then editing it. The post-production is everything. You can film great content, but at the end of the day, the magic happens. You got to have a great story, and then you film this, capture it. The magic happens in the post-production. The editing, the transitions, the music, the inspiration that goes behind it, the things that draw all the emotions when you watch something, the words that pop up, the things that make you emotional and connect with the story through a video, which allows you to be inspired in some way. We went on to do the documentary Red Flags, where we won an Emmy for that. And then now recently, the project that I worked on has been a passion project of mine, which is Beyond Small Town Dreams, The Journey of Brendan T. Adams, which is a documentary on my story and really inspiring people to think beyond wherever they are, where they're going beyond the small town and pursuing anything they want to set their mind to. And ultimately, how do you get there? And it goes back to confidence and community to support you to go after your dreams. But beyond the story of Brendan T. Adams, whether you know who Brendan T. Adams is, you're going to be able to relate with the story, because I'm just a character in the story that other people can see themselves from a small town in that story. And through that story, it will inspire them and give them the confidence and tools they need to go pursue their own dream. And so that project comes out later this year. We're going to premiere it at Rise and Record. And I'm really excited for that. And I think one important thing here, you need to have a passion behind it. You've got to do it not just for the Emmy or the money or any of that. You have to do it because you really believe in the story, and you know the story can help other people and relate with other people. That's what I love about storytelling, producing, bringing great people together, talented people, telling people's stories, and finding a way to bring it all together with a mission to empower other people through that project. And so that's what I've been honored to do through different projects, from Success in Your City, Ambitious Adventures, to the film Think and Grow Rich, The Legacy, and many more. So grateful for more to come. I can't wait for y'all to see the new documentary coming out on my story, Beyond Small Town Dreams, The Journey of Brendan T. Adams. And I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any thoughts or questions, comment below. I'm curious to hear from you. What is your project you've always been waiting to go out there and film and produce for yourself? Let me know. And here's to your success in producing your own content.